Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, this is declutter day number 3, and we are doing bronzer, blush, and highlight today. It's gonna be a long one, get comfy, and I hope you enjoy this video. Okay guys, so this is my blush drawer. As you can see, it is super full. There's a lot more back here that you can't see. If you're wondering why my hands look huge, it's because you're super zoomed in. So I'm just gonna start pulling. And I'm actually going to show you all these blushes, and I'm going to talk about everything because it's a little more personal than I guess brushes are. Brushes are more like a personal preference kind of thing. So we are just going to go in, and the first one I see is this Tarte Parasail Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush. So this is the packaging, super cute, and this is the color. Super pretty, bright, pretty pink, and I think I'm probably going to keep this one. I love Tarte blushes. Next is another Tarte blush. This is the Double Duty Beauty blush in the shade Moment. This one has a little bit of shimmer to it, and it's a little bit darker, slightly more cool tone. And I've had this one for a while, but I'm definitely going to keep this. Keep in mind, guys, I said I wasn't decluttering for the sake of decluttering. I'm decluttering to get rid of products that I actually dislike. Don't be surprised if these next few categories I don't declutter much, because I love my bronzer, blush, and highlight. Next is this Milani Baked blush in the shade Luminoso. I love, love, love this blush in the summer. Oh, it is absolutely beautiful. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it, and just the color whenever you're tan is phenomenal. I absolutely love it. Next I have this little cheek blush sample from Duce, I think is how you say it, and it is in the shade RSVP. It is not a bad blush at all, but the packaging on this, I thought it would be magnetic, so I was going to stick it in a little Tarte Z palette that I have, but it's not magnetic and you can't stick it to anything. I hate that it's stuck in this packaging, so I think I'm going to pass this along. Next is this Starry Mineral Blush. I got this on Shop Miss A. It doesn't even have the shade written on it anywhere. I actually depotted this blush because I thought it was going to be magnetic, and I hate the big packaging because there was a brush right there. So because I did already depot it and now I stuck it back in, and I have a Tarte blush that's almost this color, I think I'm actually going to get rid of this. There's nothing wrong with it. The quality is good. The color is good. As you can see, it's a really bright pink. Payoff is really, really good. It's just not practical for me to keep anymore. That's all. You like my pajama pants? Can you guys see them? Okay, next is this Love Struck Blusher Bronzer by JCat Beauty in the shade Sweet Pea Pink. So this is what it looks like. I don't know if I need to just like peel the top layer off of this or what, but it was nothing but pure glitter the first time I used it. I mean, it's got a little bit of a sheen now, but the color is really pretty. I think I want to play around with it a little more because I don't own much from JCat Beauty, and I think it's a really pretty product. I think I need to just like get past the first layer of this blush, and then I think it would just have a pretty sheen. But when I first used it, it was so intensely glittery that like I wanted to take my entire makeup look off. I made it work, but it was even a little bit much for me. So if you do try the JCat Beauty Love Struck Blusher Bronzer duos, I would just be mindful that they're covered in glitter when you first get them. But for now, I am going to keep it. Next is the Natasha Denona Blush and Glow duo. There's no shade on it, but this is a mini size, and this is what it looks like. It does come with a mirror, full-size mirror. Well, full size for this little palette. This is beautiful. I love it. It was expensive because it's Natasha Denona, even for a mini, and I'm not getting rid of it. Okay, next, these are actually probably my absolute favorite blushes of all time. I absolutely love the Anastasia blush formula. This one is in the shade Pink Passion. I've been using this one a lot recently because it's more pinky and cooler tone, and I absolutely love it. It comes with a full-size mirror as well. I got this at TJ Maxx actually, along with the other one that I have, but this formula, for whatever reason, out of all the blushes that I own, is my absolute favorite. So if you can get your hands on these at TJ Maxx, I highly recommend it. I think they're like $12, I think. Don't quote me on it, but somewhere around there. So if you're interested, but I do highly, highly, highly recommend the Anastasia blush formula if you can get your hands on it. Next, I have this Palladio matte blush in the shade Toasted Apricot. So it's kind of a actual, like a reddish blush. It has like a red undertone. If you use a light hand, it's so pretty. It's this bottom one right here. It is so pretty, and it's different. I don't have anything like it. Very pigmented. I love this Palladio blush. I actually heard of this from Casey Holmes, but if you're interested, you can only get Palladio Beauty at Sally's Beauty Stores. It's really worth it, and it's really good if you're interested, and it's not too expensive either. Okay, next up is this Mellow Cosmetics blush in the shade Peach. Want to talk about pigmented. Woo! This is like a corally peach. Like, it's not super orange. It's definitely definitely way more pink. I guess it looks peachy in the swatch. It looks more pink in person. It does have a light sheen to it, but I was very impressed at how pigmented it was whenever I first went to use it. I actually have a coupon code with Mellow Cosmetics. If you're interested, you'll get 15% off. I will have the link down below. Just go through the link and use the code MELLOW15 and you'll get 15% off your purchase with Mellow Cosmetics. I highly recommend. They also have my absolute favorite brow pencil in the whole entire world. Next is I have a mini NARS Orgasm blush, and of course I'm keeping this. It's NARS Orgasm. I mean, hello. It's freaking beautiful. It has a little bit of a gold shift to it. It's a very light pink, but it is so, so pretty in the spring and summertime. So definitely keeping it. I will probably repurchase the full size whenever I run out of that one. So this one I've had the longest. I've literally had this for probably going on 4 years, over 4 years now. But I really love it and I just don't see the point in buying a new one if it still works. It doesn't make me break out or anything like that. Do I recommend that you keep a product that long and use it? No, not at all. But this is the Milani powder blush in the shade Tea Rose, and this is what it looks like. It's just wonderful. It doesn't pack as much pigment as it used to. It actually feels a little dry now. I guess I'm just gonna have to buy a new one. Okay, next is the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Mellow Wine. Mellow Wine is iconic. I love it. It's beautiful and I'm definitely keeping it. Alrighty, last single blush is another Anastasia blush, and this one is in the Trio Peachy Love. This one is my all-time favorite in the summer. It is phenomenal. Like I said, the Anastasia blushes are my absolute favorite. I highly recommend. Also got this at TJ Maxx. Okay, I'm gonna do this one first because it's all blush. So this is the Tarte Life of the Party Clay Blush Palette in Clutch. So this is meant to be a wallet, like you can take it out and then you can also take out the product and you can carry this around and use it as a wallet. I wouldn't do that. I just personally keep the product in here. I do think the packaging is cute. Yes, the packaging is super bulky. These Tarte blushes are phenomenal. It has a small mirror, but I mean there's places you can put your cards. It would be really good for travel if you're interested. I think it is beautiful. These 3 blushes, a highlight and a contour. I thought it was all blushes. It's not. It's no longer available, so you will not see me use this on my channel. I am literally keeping this just for personal use because I love it. I'm keeping this, but this will be the only time you see it is in declutter videos. Next is this Ulta Beauty. It's just their contour palette. I got this in a little like, they sell those boxes at Christmas time full of makeup, and this is one of the things that came in it. It's got a matte bronzer, a matte nude pink blush, a shimmer rose blush, and a champagne highlighter. I've dipped into everything except for the shimmer rose blush just because it's way too dark for me. I would never use that as a blush. But the champagne highlighter, the bronzer, and the pink blush all work very, very well. Really pigmented. I just, with everything else that I have, I don't have a need for it. There's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the brand. I love Ulta Beauty. It works phenomenal. It's just not something I reach for, and I know somebody else could get really good use out of it, especially because it's so small, compact, sleek, and it's very travel friendly, so I'm going to pass this along. Okay, next is the Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio in the shade Fair Light, and I got this in BoxyCharm as well. It's got a full mirror. I love this. Oh, it is beautiful. I mainly use it in the summertime. I'm very seasonal with my makeup, I've noticed. This is something that I use more in the summertime, but it is beautiful. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. I don't use Scorcher very often. I mainly use these two, but for the most part, I just mix all of them. I just take my brush straight across and mix them all. This is wonderful. If you're interested, I highly recommend it. I would never have bought this myself, but I am beyond glad that it was sent to me in BoxyCharm. And then we have 2 more palettes in here. So the first one is this Tarteist Pro Glow and Blush Palette by Tarte, and it opens up like this, and it has a mirror on both sides. I don't really like the mirrors and how it's set up, but I wanted this so bad that I actually waited till it was gone and bought it off of Nordstrom Rack. I did just recently use this for the first time. I used these 2 blushes mixed together. I used this as a bronzer and this as a highlight, and I loved everything about it. So sort of like the blush palette that I got from the holiday collection that's no longer available. This is also no longer available, so you will not see me use this on my channel. This will also just be for personal use. And last but not least, for the blush drawer is the BH Cosmetics Blushing in Bali 6 Color Blush and Highlight Palette. It also comes with a full mirror, and these are the shades in it. It is beautiful. beautiful. Oh my goodness, I love it. So I use, for the most part, these two blushes and these two highlights. They just are the ones that work the best for my skin tone, but if I'm feeling froggy, I will go through and use all blushes and all highlights and just mix them all together. It is a very beautiful, affordable blush and highlight palette, and I think it is so pretty. So pretty that I also have the glowing in grease that you will see here shortly whenever we get to highlighters. But this is still available. If you want to get your hands on this, I do highly, highly, highly recommend. I will definitely be keeping this. I love it so much. Alrighty, so that is everything. I'm going to quickly show you the things I am getting rid of. There's not many. Okay, so I'm getting rid of 4 things, and they are going to be going in my little declutter bin. Next, we are going to tackle bronzers, which is the drawer right above in my vanity. Okay guys, so this is my bronzer drawer. It is so full, it will barely close. The only thing is, I don't think there's going to be much that I'm getting rid of in this drawer. If anything, I may have to do some rearranging, but for now, we are just going to do our best and go through these. First thing I see up top is the Hoola bronzer by Benefit in the mini. I love this. It is wonderful for a contour and a bronzer. I usually just use it for contour, but if I'm traveling, I will just pack this and use it for both. I love it. I will repurchase the full size when this one is gone. Keeping that. Okay, next is the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer in the shade Bronzed. I have only used this a couple times, but when I did use it, it's very pretty. It blends really nice. It comes with a full-size mirror. I think I will get a lot more use out of it when summer comes. Right now I'm really pale. Usually I'm tan, and this is slightly deeper. Not a whole lot deeper, so I'll probably be able to use it when springtime comes, but I do enjoy it and I'm definitely going to be keeping it. Okay, next is the Amuse Cosmetics Matte Bronzer. I got this on Shop Miss A. It has a slight orangey undertone. It's just a little warm, that's all. It looks really good on me in the summer, and I like it whenever I'm trying to look a little more tan. And for it only being $1, I really, really do enjoy it, and I would like to promote it more on my channel. So I'm definitely gonna keep it, especially for that, so that people that would rather not spend so much on makeup, it's really good quality and I do like the color, so I'm going to be keeping this. Next is the Pretty Vulgar Bronze B bronzer in the shade Bronze Mannequin. So this is definitely a summer bronzer for me. I got this in BoxyCharm. It is really dark, but in the summer, this is my go-to. I've actually used a really good amount of this. I don't know if you guys can tell. I absolutely love it, and I'm going to be keeping it for a summer bronzer. Guys, I'm not going to be getting rid of much in this drawer. Okay, so next is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blends Natural Radiance Bronzer in the shade 30 Sunkissed. This literally just makes you look sun-kissed. It's got 4 squares, 4 different colors, but whenever you blend them all together, it just is the prettiest bronze color. Like, you can barely see that, right? It's so pretty. I actually need to use this more often. Highly recommend it. You can get it at Walmart. It's not super expensive. It's not super cheap either, but it is so pretty and worth every penny. So I'm keeping that. Next is this Lottie London Tan Time Bronzer in the shade Light Medium. It is very dark. This is probably the darkest bronzer that I own. I've used it one time and I looked super dark, but it was very, very pretty and so easy to blend and so soft. Ugh, so pretty. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's the darkest bronzer I have, so I'm actually super excited to keep trying this. Next is a cult classic. Everybody knows Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Mine is actually in the shade Light Bronzer, so I really do layer this up and cake this on. As you can see, I love it. I've hit pan. It smells delicious. Every time I use it and open it, I have to smell it. It comes with a mirror and a little place to keep a sponge, which I don't, of course. I love it, love it, love it. I would like to get the regular just bronzer shade. As soon as I can afford to replace it, I'm definitely just going to replace it and get the bronzer shade, but you can't go wrong with this. It's phenomenal. I love it and I would recommend it to anyone. Next is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder for darker skin. It's the shade 02 Sunny. So this is not that dark. I used this a few times. It is like, you can barely see it on my hand right there. It is really, really pretty, and I'm keeping it because of the huge pan. There's just so much product in here and it's super soft and so cheap. In case you can't tell, bronzers were my favorite thing to try at one point in time. That's why I have so many. But I'm still going to keep it because, like I said, I love bronzer. If I do a full face of makeup, I never, ever, ever, ever skimp out on bronzer. I always use bronzer and I always layer it up. That's why I'm going to be keeping most of these. But I do love this and I do recommend it. Alrighty, here's one. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette in the shade Dulce de Leche. This is for the lighter skin. I loved this. This was my contour palette. I used the contour and the light shade both. I love them, it's phenomenal, but the only thing is I own the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and it's very expensive and I love it a lot. I use this shade to bronze, I mix the two to contour, and I use this shade to lighten up my under eyes and to clean up my contour. Love this. I don't discriminate against any makeup artist. I just go for the makeup. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. It doesn't matter who made it to me. So I'm definitely going to be keeping it, but because this Wet n Wild one is almost the same thing, I'm going to pass this on to somebody else that doesn't have something like this and could definitely use it. So this is a declutter. Next is the Collab Sun Obsession Sculpting Bronzer in the shade Major. This is discontinued. You can still get this at some Sally's Beauty stores for like $7 on clearance, but for the most part you can't get it anymore. So this is going to be for personal use. You will not see this on my channel, but I am going to keep this. Next is my first ever contour palette. This is the e.l.f. contour palette and it's probably nasty looking. I used to use this all the time because of the full mirror. Back in the day when I first started makeup, I mixed these two shades and I contoured. I didn't bronze before I bought the butter bronzer. I didn't know that you needed to bronze. I just thought you needed to contour. And then I just used this as a highlighter because I didn't own a highlighter either. I think for now I am going to go ahead and pass this on. I do not use it at all anymore. It has some nostalgia to it. It's not even like a fancy makeup item. It's just hits a place in my heart because I used it, I loved it, and it was literally my go-to every single day bronzer and highlight, and I used the mirror in it to do all of my makeup. I do love this, but like I said, I don't use it, so I am going to have to pass it on. Alright, next is the NYX Wonder Stick Highlight and Contour Stick. This is another thing that I used to use all the time. Here's the highlight, and over here is the contour. So I used the contour more than I used the highlight. I do not use this at all anymore. I want to start using cream products more, but the highlight stick kind of sucks on this. It's just not that great. Contour stick I have no problem with whatsoever, but I don't want to keep it if I don't like one end and I only like the other whenever I could try something else that I might like better. And somebody else could be using this and loving the highlight stick as well. I'm going to pass this along. Alright, next is the Lash Single Bronzer. This is the NARS Laguna Bronzer, and I love this. It's a little bit on the darker side, but I got it at TJ Maxx for cheap, and that means I'll have like 3 different bronzers to change up with in the summer, so that makes me excited because I used to just use one bronzer year round, and when you're tan it doesn't look the same, so I'm also going to be keeping this as well. Alrighty, next is this Believe Beauty Get Glowing Highlight and Contour Palette in the shade Light Medium. This is beautiful actually. So this is a contour, blush, and highlight, and I think I'm going to keep this because it just has a contour, a blush, and a highlight, and they all 3 work for me, and it's very good quality. This is a Dollar General exclusive brand. They are really, 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 really good. Everything's like $5 and under, so I highly recommend you check out Believe Beauty if you haven't already. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this for drugstore makeup looks, also just for travel, because it's just that great. Alright, 2 palettes left, and I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil you guys. I am keeping both. So this is the Park Ave Princess palette by Tarte. Oh, it's called the Chisel palette, I'm sorry. It is all contour shades. I like this one almost as much as I like the Kat Von D one. This one has a full mirror as well, and I like it just because it's different. This one works better for me in the winter because the contour shades are lighter and so are the under eye shades, so it works better for me in the winter, and the Kat Von D one works better for me in the summer. So I'm going to be keeping both because they work better for me at different times and I love them. This one, I don't know if I said, I got this in a Boxy Luxe and I think it's super worth it, so I really like this. Keeping it. And last but not least, I actually just used used this for the first time the other day. This is the Cheek Leaders Bronze Squad palette. It has a mirror in it, as you can see. This is what it looks like. So I use Hoola. I haven't used this Hoola because I have the mini Hoola. Once I'm done with that, I'll use this probably before I go out and repurchase one. But I absolutely love these two blushes. I mix them. They're really good. This, once you get the gold off of Gold Rush, then it's a normal pretty cool tone blush. So this is a good cool tone blush, a good warm tone blush. And Hoola Caramel I will be able to use in the summer once I start getting tan. And then Cookie. Cookie is the best highlight ever. I'm definitely going to purchase the single one once I run out of this one. So I will definitely repurchase both of these in the long run. But this palette is just phenomenal, all out good. I love everything in it. And then it also comes with a little brush, which actually works really well to contour. I don't use it unless I need to, but for the most part, I use everything in this palette and I love it so much. All right, that's everything from my bronzer drawer. I am only getting rid of these 3 products and they're all kind of older. I just don't use any of these anymore because I have so much new product. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back in this drawer and then we are going to jump over to the other side and declutter my highlighters. Okay guys, so next we are going to tackle my highlighter drawer. The reason I'm sitting in front of it like this is because I need to be able to see the viewfinder so that I can tell if I'm in frame or not. If you hear my dogs in the background, I'm so sorry. They're being idiots right now. So this drawer is probably going to be the hardest for me to declutter because I love highlighters and I think they're all good for different reasons. I don't know if I'll really be getting rid of anything out of this drawer. If I do, I will be shocked. Maybe like 1 or 2 things, but we're just going to do our best and try and get through this. I'm gonna go first and pull out, this is the Wet n Wild Boozy Brunch. So this is what it looks like and it's huge. It is actually more of a like super yellow gold highlight and you wouldn't think it looking in the packaging, but that is what it looks like. It is super beautiful. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Super, super pretty. I have a lot of gold highlighters. I'm addicted. I don't know why, but this is a great drugstore option. It's such a big pan and it was so cheap. I can't get enough of it. I love Wet n Wild, so I'm keeping that. Next is the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder in the shade Purple Dream. I don't have anything against this. I just hate that it is a loose highlighter. I have one loose highlighter that I love, the only one that I will be keeping, but this one just isn't it for me. It has a little bit of a purple tint to it and kind of a holographic hue, and I just don't like holographic makeup personally on me, so this I am actually going to declutter. Next is the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter in the shade Molten Rose Gold. It is a bright pink highlight. I love this. It is so soft. Maybelline highlight is phenomenal. There, do you guys see that? So stinking pretty. This is one of the first highlights that I've gotten. I've had this a really long time, but I absolutely love it, and I actually just used it recently. Fell back in love with it, so I'm definitely going to be keeping this. Next is the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter in the shade How Many Carats. I'm sure you've all have seen this, heard of this, or something of sorts, and this is what it looks like. Absolutely beautiful. Ugh, just the way that it feels. It is literally just like straight glitter. Can you guys see that? It is just absolutely pretty. I use it for mainly like Halloween makeup, or I use it on my body in the summer and it's phenomenal. It's just so pretty in the summer. So it doesn't get as much use as everything else, but for the price that it was, the longer I make it last, the better. So I'm keeping that. Okay, next is the Pixie by Petra Beauty Blush Duo and Peach Honey. So it says Blush Duo, but it's a highlight. It's pretty, but I hate the packaging because you have to twist it off, and that's just extra for me in my personal opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not something that I reach for, and I am going to declutter this product. Next is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in the shade Golden Flower Crown. Talk about a beaming highlight. Oh, this is pretty. It reminds me a lot of this other highlight that I have. It's a Milani highlight. Ugh, do you see that? I'm definitely keeping this. I love Wet n Wild products. So next is the only liquid highlighter that I have that I'm definitely keeping. This is the Cover FX Glitter Drops. I got these in a BoxyCharm a really long time ago, and I use these in the summer. I don't use a lot of liquid products or cream products in the winter, winter because I have oily skin. It just works better for me in the summer when I can use dewy spray and things like that so I don't look as greasy and oily. I just look more healthy. In the winter when I do it, it makes me look greasy. I'm not sure why, but I do love these. They're really good. I would never purchase them myself. I probably won't repurchase them, but you know how long it's gonna take me to go through this tube? Forever. I'm definitely keeping these. Next is the Ofra highlighter in Pillow Talk. This is the old packaging, but I did just get this off of Nordstrom Rack. It is the prettiest light pink. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yes, you can. Tell me that's not gorgeous. It's completely different than the Maybelline highlighter. The Maybelline highlighter is deeper. The word that comes to my mind is like a tiara or like princesses. And it's just absolutely perfect. I use this a lot when I do pinky looks. I love it. I love it more for the winter time, so definitely keeping that. Oh guys, we still have so much more to go through. Okay, so this is the Smashbox Spotlight palette, and I have the gold one. This was a collab with Casey Holmes and Smashbox, which is the main reason why I bought it. I'm going to keep it because of the reason why I bought it. It's not my favorite. I don't pick it up and use it a whole lot, but I bought it to support Casey Holmes. I also got it at TJ Maxx, so I got it kind of cheap. For now, I'm going to keep this. All right, next is my all-time favorite highlighter. This is the Milani Strobe Light highlighter in the shade Sunglow. This is my favorite. As you can see, I have a huge dent in it. This highlighter is so stinking pretty. It is the prettiest gold I've ever seen, and I love it. Definitely keeping it. It's my favorite. All right, next is the AOA Studio Perfect Press highlighter in the shade Tiara. This was only $1. It is a light pinky colored highlighter, and it is very pigmented. See, it reminds me a lot of the Ofra one. Actually, here's the Ofra one. Let me see. Wow, they're very, very similar, aren't they? The Ofra one is slightly more pink in person, and this one's slightly more champagne-y, but I like to have these colors so close, and I like to have both so that I have a dupe for one or another. So like, if I do a dupes video ever, I can say, if you want the Ofra one, get this one. They're almost the same thing. I do want to keep both for that reason. Next is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter in the shade Be My Highlight. So this is perfect. If you just want a soft, natural highlight, this is the way to go. This one you can literally build up forever, and I swear it's never too much. It just looks so good. It looks great on all skin tones, and it's just wonderful. Like, I just feel like you can't go wrong with buying this, and it's very cheap, and I guarantee you'll love it, because whether you want easy light highlight or a super beaming highlight, you can achieve both with this highlighter. So I highly recommend, and like I said, it's in the shade Be My Highlight. All right, next let's just talk about the only loose highlighter that I'm keeping, Laura Lee Los Angeles. I love Laura Lee products. I don't know if I said that before. Laura Lee products are phenomenal. I've never had a complaint about any of her products. This is the loose highlighter in Sugar and Spice. She released this with her Sleigh Bell collection, and everything about this is beautiful, and I love so much. This is more of a summer shade for me. I'm definitely keeping it. Next is the AOA Studio Wonder Baked Highlighter in the shade Cupcake. This is very dry. I just don't like how dry it feels, and it was only $1, so I think I'm gonna pass it along in case I do want to buy it again. It is only $1. If you want better baked highlighter, I would go with the Essence Pure Nude. If you still want to go with AOA Studios, this is another one that's way better. Their Perfect Pressed highlighter is better than their Wonder Baked highlighter, in my opinion, and they're close to the same color. This is more of a lighter pink. This is more of a pink. If you want something close to this color but want a better formula, I would go with the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Rose Gold. I'm going to declutter this one. Okay, next is the Dirty Little Secret Baked Highlighter in the shade Bellini. I used to love this, and I'm not even sure why. It is like pink, but it's like holographic, and I just don't like holographic makeup anymore. I think I am going to pass this one along. I think my aunt would actually love this. Next is the e.l.f. Bake Highlighter and Blush Duo in the shade Rose Gold. I used to use this all the time. As you can see, I got a huge dent in it. I just don't use it anymore. It's very dry, and it's just kind of like the AOA one where it's cheap. If I want to buy it again, I will. For now, I just don't get enough use out of it, so I'm going to give it a better home. Next is the Morphe High Impact Highlighter in the shade Spark. This one I actually really enjoy because it is a very good cross between a gold and a pink highlight. It's very neutral. It looks really gold in a swatch, as you can see, but it has a bronzy pink color to it. So I do think I'm gonna keep this because I don't have anything like it, and it's actually really smooth and buttery, and I appreciate that in a highlighter, so I'm going to be keeping that. All right, last single, oh no, this is not the last single highlighter. I thought this was my last single highlighter. So this is the City Color Glow Pro Stellar Iridescent Highlight in the shade Nebula. I got this in an Ipsy bag way back when I was still subscribed to Ipsy, and it is freaking blue and holographic, like, and it's very, very chunky. You guys ready for this? Watch. Like, when would I ever wear this as a highlight? It is beautiful, it is stunning, it is very reflective, don't get me wrong, it is creamy, it's a little bit chunky like I said. I just will never wear this on my face, and I think either my aunt or my cousin will absolutely love this. It is just not for me, like that's really all there is to it. It's just not something that I am personally going to use, and I don't want it to go to waste. All right, last, oh no, I have two more. So this is actually a Maybelline Expert Wear eyeshadow in the shade The Glow Down. And I actually bought this because Makeup by A. Marie, Ashley Mitchell recommended it to her followers. It is an eyeshadow, but it works great as a highlight. It is beautiful, oh my goodness. For $2 for a drugstore cheap video, this is phenomenal. If you can't afford any of these other highlighters for whatever reason, if you can't afford the Morphe one, if you can't afford the Laura Lee one, you should be able to afford the AOA because it's only $1. But these are the two that I would recommend. AOA Studios from Shop Miss A because it's only $1. But if you want to go to Walmart and get a really good gold highlight, get this eyeshadow in the shade The Glow Down. It's $2 and it's so worth it. Keeping that. So last single highlighter is the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter. If y'all don't know about it, you should. It's the most beautiful gold highlight I think ever. It is no longer available. It was limited edition, so you guys will not see this on my channel. This is literally only for personal use. All right, next I have this. It's just a Tarte Z palette, and inside I have a sample of the Balm Mary Luminizer. I'm gonna keep it for now and try and use it up. I probably won't repurchase it, but it's just the only thing that's in this Z palette, so I'm keeping the Z palette. I love the Z palette. Okay, next is the Cover FX Perfect Face palette in light medium. It has a beautiful full-size mirror, and I actually love this palette. I love both highlights. I love the contour. I love the blush. I love the finishing powder. I don't really use the brightener, but I do like it as well. It is just beautiful. It is perfect for travel. I really, really love this palette. I got it in a BoxyCharm as well, so I'm definitely keeping this. All right, next, like I said, I have the BH Cosmetics Glowing in Grease palette. It's just like the other one. It has a mirror, and then it's got 3 blushes and 3 highlights. So these ones are more peachy. I really only use these two, and I use mainly this highlighter and this highlighter. I use this one very rarely. I love it just as much as the other one. It's absolutely beautiful, and I'm definitely keeping it. All right, last 3, by far my favorite. Absolute favorite. By far, absolutely love it. This is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Glazed Highlighter Palette, and it is just gorgeous. It has a full-size mirror, and these shades, oh my gosh. I mainly use Diamonds and Glow Gal. I love Rosé all day though. I use it with a very light hand, and I cannot wait to use Cinnamon Sugar in the summer. That one is going to look awesome in the summer with a little bit of Glow Gal on top. Ugh, these are definitely more summer shades for me, but I can get away with this one right now, and I use these two all the time. So I'm very excited. I love this palette. The pan sizes are huge, and she lowered her prices too, so this was not very expensive at all. I jumped on it the chance I could, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If you haven't tried Laura Lee Los Angeles, try it. Her cosmetics are phenomenal. Even if you don't like her makeup is phenomenal. I highly, 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 highly recommend it. All right, next is the Hard Candy Baked Highlighting Trio, and it comes with these 3 little shades, and it comes with a little highlighting brush, which I have used. The highlighting brush is not very bad. You know, it works if you need it to. So I just pretty much mixed all shades. It's very subtle, and it's kind of dark for me. They are very, very chalky and dry. I think I have enough drugstore, so I'm actually going to get rid of this. It's pretty good if you are interested in it, but like I said, it's just really dry, and it could be better. I'm gonna pass this along, and I'm also gonna just pass it along with the little brush. And then the last product I am definitely keeping. I didn't know how good this was. So this is the MAC Hyper Real Glow Highlighting Palette. It comes with a full mirror, and these highlights, oh my god. They're phenomenal. All these colors look great great on me. They look like they're purple. I promise they're not. This is like a champagne, this is like a pinky, and this is a gold. So this is a TJ Maxx. I don't know if you can get it anymore, so I'm not gonna use it on my channel. But if you can snag this at TJ Maxx, I highly, highly, highly recommend. So let me really quick show you guys what I'm getting rid of. So I am getting rid of 7 products, which is the most out of any of the other things that we decluttered. 1 palette and a bunch of singles. I'm really hoping that my family gets some use out of these because a lot of them are really good. I just don't use them anymore. That is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next video I film is going to be probably everything that's in this Alex 5 drawer right here. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're enjoying so far. See you guys next time. Subscribe, click the little notification bell, like, tell your friends, tell your family. See you next time.